Hello and welcome. Seen lots of videos online about people generally marking out how to do a wheel alignment, but I've never seen anyone dive underneath and actually make the adjustments. So I thought I'd make a video about how I go about doing that on the E36. Alright, how to wheel align the E36. Let's get to it. Okay, so you've probably seen plenty of videos online of stringing the car out, and I do the same. And it's really, the way I string it is to make sure the wheels are in line with the body. And you see I just run a piece of, it's actually, don't tell my wife, but it's baker's twine from one jack stand to the other. Then I'm looking at, particularly here, at the gap between the body and the string to make sure the wheels are roughly straight with the car. Now I've already done the rear toe on these back wheels, and if you need to do it, there's 3 bolts just underneath where my finger is there. But you can see there I'm making sure that, you know, when you're doing the toe, is not both wheels pointing left or both wheels pointing right. Hopefully they're pointing straight ahead in line with the car. So you can see I've got the rear wheels already set. Now I run about 2 degrees of toe in on the back of my car because I like it to oversteer a bit. And it does. Now to do the front, I've got this thing called a quick track wheel alignment tool. You don't need that. You can search around the net and have a look for different tools. But what you're really trying to do here, it'd be a whole lot easier if the dog moved, is actually measure the difference between the front of the tyre and the back of the tyre. And this tool makes it so you know that it's exactly equal. So you've got the 2 tape measures there. You have a look at both measurements and subtract one from the other, and that gives you whether you've got toe in or toe out. After the accident at Lakeside, I had 6 degrees of toe out, so I had to go and do something about that. So in here, just taking the 2 measurements, doing a little bit of mathematics, which was a bit of a trick on a Saturday afternoon, and then working out whether you've got toe in or toe out. So I had 6 degrees, so time for an adjustment. Now dive under the car on an E36, that's where you do the adjustment, and just on the right there is the lock ring. So you undo the lock ring, and then you can actually move the actual tie rod in and out. So you'll see me in a minute go get a rather large wrench, and I'll put it around the lock nut and undo the lock nut. Now I struggled on this side. You'll see me not just undoing the lock nut, that just needs a little bit of effort on my behalf. But we got the lock nut undone on this side, and then found that this adjuster here was very, very stiff to turn. Like, it was just ridiculously stiff to get any sort of movement out of it at all. Now Terry's been under this car and done this before, and he had the same struggle. So I was thinking, okay, it's just, you know, he's 20 years old, this might just be a bit of wear. Here's me finally cracking the lock nut. But what it turns out is, not only is there a lock nut on an E36 rack, there's also a collar. So there's a lock collar as well. So once you back this nut off, there you go, I finally got it. Now once you've got that off, this adjuster here should turn freely, and that'll push the front of the wheel in or out to correct the toe. But on my car it was really, really stiff, and I couldn't work out why. Tried spraying WD-40 down the threads, all that type of stuff. Now the lock collar is very hard to see, at least on mine it was, because, you know, it's got 20 years of grit and grime in there, and Perry likes to drive it off the road every now and then. Only joking, Perry. That's the side I put in the wall, so it was always going to be my dirt in there. But you can see it's incredibly tight. Now when I dived under this side, it finally hit me. So I undid that lock collar, and there it is there. You just give it a tap, and away it comes. And then that adjuster spins very, very simply. And that was the trick for me to actually working out how to do it. So you push the wheel in and out, and it'll take, you know, 6 or 7 goes of trial and error. And every time you do it, put the car back on the ground, move it forward and back, and then measure again. And you can see here I've got 2.5 mils of toe in, which is perfect for what I want to do. So job done, wheel alignment done. So once I learnt that lock collar, it was just a matter of getting the measurements right, and happy days. Well, that's it. It's quite a simple process, but once you work out how to get that lock collar undone, happy days. Well, that's it. The car's ready to go, ready to race. So hopefully the next video you see will be actually us behind the wheel. Alright, until then, thanks for watching.